the real silence is self-surrender. It's not a silence which is depending on anything. It's a silence which is the absolute, which is totally independent from any concept we may have, beyond even the concept of silence and noise, beyond the thoughtless state or any expressions of life. This silence is never, it is always present. It is so silent that through the mind, through our senses, we can't notice it. It is so simple that it cannot be grasped, it cannot be understood, it cannot be experienced through what we call the body-mind. The silence which we may experience as body-mind, as a separate individual entity, is a reflection of this absolute silence, which is always shining in its own self-presence. So, if we can't describe it, if we can't grasp it, what to do about that? So once again, nothing. Whatever we do to grasp it will keep us in time and space. And time and space is only an expression of this total silence. So this is the best one pointer: do nothing. Because in doing nothing, not as body-mind, but as that what you are yourself, that silence. Just listening to that absolute silence, which you are by nature, which it's even prior to the first manifestation of sound and light or any expression of life. The first expression, sound and light, created all the lower expression, if we call it lower, like the prana and the mind and physical world and so on. But the silence is inexpressible if we just can hear that, then there is no more to realize, because it transcends everything, because it cannot be there, it cannot be then, because there nobody has been there. It's impossible to be there. Wherever we are here. And we can also not be then in time. We can never be then, tomorrow, in 1 year. We can only be now. So it's a mirage which is creating the dream of time and space, that we will reach a goal, we will reach there and then at a point. So that's all the play of even liberation, awakening, enlightenment, all these experiences, because they are experiences, are happening within this absolute silence or the self. Pure consciousness. Whatever name we give, we never fit, so we can use these words. We understand the direction, the pointer. Yes, so it doesn't mean it's bad to have any kind of experience, low or high, but even the experience of bondage and liberation are happening in this absolute pure sky of consciousness that we are. So in a way, there is nothing in this absolute sense. We are already that now Tatwam Asi. If it can be heard from where it's coming and reach the same place, which is the self, which is absolute reality, then there is nothing wrong with within that pure sky of consciousness evolution, spiritual growth, personal growth. All, why not? You know, for the self, nothing matters. Nothing is affecting the self, neither bondage, neither liberation. So this is transcending all idea of reaching anywhere at any time. This is self-surrender, and it can happen only now, in this moment, because there is only one moment which is not in time and space, and this is now. And self-surrender, which is the inner silence, can only be now. So let's enjoy this precious gift, this diamond. Once it has been heard, then there might be some contraction, expansion, experience of contraction and expansion for the individual. Or I lost it, or I have to work again to do my sadhana, meditate, all this. The master tells us to meditate and to do sadhana and to put effort only because the mind does not accept that absolute truth, that Twamasi, you are that already. Because we cannot self-surrender, which is the inner silence now, then we are told to practice, do this, do this, do this, do this. And this is also perfectly okay. This one is also frank, meditating, this, that. It's not an hindrance for the self. So there is no, in truth, there is no conflict between these two aspects. I am this pure inner silence already, but everything is allowed to happen as per God's will, as it is happening, if you prefer this language, which is the same thing. So for that there is no delay, there is nothing to wait. It's here, just, we can say, in your heart. It's not in a place specifically, of course. It is the absolute heart, or Hridayam, the ever-shining heart, or silence, unconditional love, because it has no preference for any states, high, low. This is the real meaning of this highest surrender. They call it, there is a book talk about some scriptures in India about 9 stage of bhakti, devotion, and the highest, the 9th one, is self-surrender. Because nothing can be beyond this self-surrender when there is only this now, and me is realized as not existing, this separate me. Then this is called self-surrender, or the inner silence. And in this inner silence then thoughts might be or not, but they lose their power by this inner silence, inner self-surrender. So if I dwell just that, and then the happening, or the Shakti, or the will of God, or the Sadguru, or whatever language you use, is not in conflict with that ground of existence, that beingness, and that this inner kiss, this love inside between this absolute stability and this expression of the wave between this Shiva, this absolute Shiva, not a deity or the self, and Shakti, its expression. So when there is no conflict between the two, this is the inner love, inner silence or self-surrender. So I thank you very much for listening, and if you like the video, you can click, you can subscribe to the channel, and I will be happy to see you next time. Thank you so much. Namaste.